There was a run-in between Patty Pimblett and Colby Covington at the PI. According to Patty, Patty says he walked by. Colby Covington was staring at the floor. Says he talks a lot of shite online, but he craps his undies in person.
Yeah, dude, I want to start with this one. I forget who I was talking. It might have been Dean Thomas. We were talking about it recently, where there was also an encounter with Kamaru Usman that when Kamaru walked by Colby and he was just nothing but respectful. I think that his persona is fading. Do you know what I mean? I think he's struggling to keep up that MAGA, Mr. America, bully from college persona these days. I think he's kind of, even himself is just struggling to get through it, because the real issue is, and Patty's right, he is quiet in person, because the real situation is he has nothing really against you, Patty. He really doesn't actually want to talk shit to you. He doesn't really want to talk shit to most of these guys. He's only doing it so that he can keep himself relevant. And I think when he's finally retired, he'll be the first to admit to you that it was all complete bullshit. 100%. And I think now at what, 30, late 30s, towards the end of his career, he's just kind of even struggling to keep the same face with that bullshit. Dude, and that's the problem with that type of personality, right? When it's not genuine, because it's not with Colby.
Yeah.
Because I've hung out with that guy for an extended period of time. And he's not like that.
And he was very pleasant. He was very well-mannered, very well-spoken. He wasn't rude to anybody. I've spoke about it on here. I saw him at the airport and I was watching him in the lounge, just the way he was interacting with people. He was like, super nice. He would be like, let's just say he was acting or behaving as if President Trump was in the room and he wanted to make a good impression. He was super well-mannered and cordial and standing up and shaking people's hands and stuff like that. Because I was just sitting by myself, having my airport drink, pre-flight, and just like keeping one eye, because I've only got one, on him. I was just kind of observing it, you know what I mean? And he was like somebody's mother would be happy if their daughter was dating that guy. That's how he was conducting
Which is
himself.
crazy, because he plays the total opposite of that in his.
But remember, he was on the verge of getting cut, and I think it's when he fought Damian Maia in Brazil. And I think he wasn't on the verge. I think he was told he was going to get cut. Then he cuts that crazy promo, calls everyone filthy pieces of garbage or rats or whatever he said in Brazil, and gets another contract and then reinvents himself. To your point, it's one thing saying all that stuff on a microphone, like Chael Sonnen. Chael Sonnen's a quiet dude, man. I work with him here and there on ESPN. I've been around him. I've fought him, for crying out loud. He's not loud and obnoxious and annoying. He's very quiet, and he's just looking at his phone. He's got his glasses on. But then it cuts to him, and he's like, okay, and he's got something crazy to say, you know?
He's created a persona.
Because, like for Colby, just going back to Harrington's point, when you're like that, I mean, if you truly are that character, I mean, I kind of used to be a bit like that. It's an exhausting way to live your life. You know what I mean? It's like if you're a bully at school, like I would always tell my children, my boys, not my daughter, my boys, like if someone's bullying you, you've got to stand up to them, because the reality is they don't want to have to roll around the floor with you and actually get into a fight. Yeah. And if you prove you're not that guy and you're not going to tolerate it, they'll leave you alone. If Colby or anyone's living their life like that, anytime they see anyone at the PI, at the Apex, you're going to be starting trouble. You're not going to get invited. You're not going to get tickets. People aren't going to want you around because you're just drama. And everywhere you go, drama and chaos follows you. So it's just a goddamn persona. So I'm not surprised that Paddy Pimblett says that. And of course, from Paddy, he's gonna evaluate that and speculate what it means to him in his own mind. Oh, he looked at the floor. He didn't say anything. Oh, he's a piece of shit. He's scared of me. I don't think that's the case at all. He's like, I haven't got beef with Paddy. I'm not going to talk shit for the sake of it.
Yeah, no, 100%. You're right. And that's the problem with, again, now it's towards the end of that. And man, it's just got to be a rough way to make a living like that. I kind of, in a weird way, and people might give me shit for this, but I kind of feel bad for Colby because, dude, I'm the one, like when I hung out with him, I was the one that was a mess. We were on this military base years ago in Virginia, and this dude that was he was no longer part of the military, but he somehow still works for the government, and he kind of helps bring fighters in and is part of that, the whole experience for the military service to be able to hang with us, watch fights with us. Anyway, it was the last night, and we were just feeding ourselves whiskey. We got a bunch of Gentleman Jack. We were just smashing. My manager was actually filming me eating a Kit Kat, and I got all pissed off. Blackout, run up to my room. I'm so mad at everybody. I ended up like slamming the toilet seat wrong. Water starts spraying everywhere. They think I'm flipping out. They start to call military police. They're going to send military police to my room. So Brian Butler, my manager, and Colby Covington, of all people, come up to my room to try to calm me down. Colby doesn't say a word. He just stands in the back to make sure everything's figured out. If he was that guy, it would have been a perfect opportunity for him to be that guy and be a tough guy. But instead, he just made sure I wasn't going to be an asshole. And once he realized I was just drunk and like blowing off steam, he calmed down. So like that whole weekend, if anybody was the a-hole, it was me, not Colby Covington. And he could have been. And it was right before the Damian Maia fight that we did that military tour. So I think it was after that. He was like, you know what? If I'm going to make a noise and I'm going to make money in the UFC, I've got to create this persona. And unfortunately, it was one that a lot of people hate it and has to live with that.
We've all been there, though, Paul. I have been that guy. We've all been that guy many times.
I got lucky that weekend, by the way, Michael. I could have been locked up on a military base there.
On a military base. That's the last place you want to be, in military prison. All right, this episode is sponsored by Manscaped, that are here to help you out, because spring isn't just for spring cleaning, getting rid of that bad shirt. No, it's for taking care of your balls, your face, and everywhere in between. And right now I'm going to tell you about Manscaped's Beard and Balls Bundle, which has got you covered from cheek to cheek. And by the way, you can join over 12 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and use the code BELIEVE to get 20% off and free international shipping at manscaped.com.